Okay, so I got two stories for you now that are, I mean, they're both heartbreaking. One's a little humorous, but both of them are heartbreaking because a parent should never have to end up turning their weapon upon their child. You know, close family relative, but this in these cases, both of them being their children, both of them adult children, but they're children nonetheless. So first one here, Pennsylvania mom fatally shot son after who broke into her home. 64-year-old Berks County woman shot and killed her 32-year-old son last month after he forced his way into her home, high on methamphetamines, according to the county district attorney office. An investigation by the Brooke County Detective's Office found no evidence to dispute the woman's accounts to determine the shooting was an act of self-defense. So devastating right off the bat. Uh, it's really heartbreaking. I mean, this man was 32 years old, mother's 64, so obviously she's quite a bit older, a lady, and he's high on methamphetamines. So already not in his right judgment, and has all of those general characteristics, heightened speed, and a little more aggressive, and it just doesn't make for a great outcome. So on November 6th at around 6:50 a.m. in the Bethel Township, Sean M. Clemens of Maytown was found dead in a basement from gunshot wounds. He originally had shown up to his mother's house unannounced and was demanding to be let in. The woman said she was scared, retrieved a firearm that she had, and then Clemens ran around the back of the house and entered through an unlocked basement door. That's when his mother ended up taking his life. Unfortunate. The really, really unfortunate part is that the fact that that door was unlocked. Really, I mean, if it was locked, maybe Clemens would be alive, and the police would have had time to respond and take him away. Just before the shooting, witnesses saw Clemens walk around. So that's kind of how that goes there. Down here, a couple of things that are even more heartbreaking is the mother told the investigators her son has an extensive use with the illegal drug. And while he was under the influence of the drug, mainly methamphetamine, he would become aggressively violent. She explained that he also lived at that house briefly for a while, but has since moved out after he completed a rehabilitation program, which I thought was a little interesting. He's rehabilitated and he's moving out, but at the same time, now the unfortunate part about it is the autopsy has determined that Clemens did die of multiple gunshot wounds to the chest, but also a toxicology revealed that he had high levels of methamphetamine in his system at the time of his death. So not only did he was in and out, he was always basically it seems like he was relapsing from there. And he got aggressive again, went back to his mother's house, and became violent again. He was also had contacts dating back to 2011 related to these drug-related and violence offenses. So he's fairly well known in the area for these offenses. It's just very unfortunate that he ended up dying in such a manner, especially after it seemed like he was on the road to recovery and that it was his mother that had to take these actions. Thankfully, it doesn't. She's like, they fully take it as self-defense, and she's not going to have any charges placed on her at the moment. So that's good. Just unfortunate that a drug-addled son had to be taken out of this world by his mother. Now, on a lighter note, we do have a father shoots his adult son who threatened him after heavy drinking. Now you're like, how is this lighter? We'll get there. There's a little bit of humor in it. Thankfully, nobody is dead after this one. So, as the son was drinking on Tuesday night, this was December 17th at around 11:20, he became belligerent and then says, "I'm going to put you under." And the father, who is 70 or in his 70s, kind of took that as a threat from his 30-ish year old son. According to the police, he was heavily drinking, and he became violent. He had been known to be violent, and in a previous time, he had actually broke his father's arm the year before. As the son was drinking Tuesday night, HEB said that he started to become belligerent and told his father, "I'm going to put you under." And that's where that first threat became. At some point, he broke a mirror and started to go after the family dog, which, I mean, that alone would be like, not going to happen. When he started to go after his father, so he was originally going after the dog, maybe as like some veiled threat of, look what I can do to you. And then maybe as the father was telling him not to, he averted his gaze and went straight for his father, who's in his 70s. The father fired a warning shot, and then when he didn't stop, he ended up actually shooting him in the leg. So, and that's what I find the slightly humorous part, is everybody's like, oh, why don't you shoot him in the leg? Well, in this case, he actually did get shot in the leg. No charges have been filed against the father at this point, and the son is expected to recover, and the Houston father won't face charges, which is the part that I found fantastic. You know, it's always great when these turn out in a way where it's fairly conclusive that it was indeed a self-defense claim. And the son is expected to make a recovery. So I hope that for the son's future, he quits drinking, and when he is around his father, isn't drinking. And I also hope that for the father's future, I mean, he's already had his leg broken, and then he was threatened with that mirror, so a sharp object. I hope nothing more like this happens. But I wanted to bring these two cases for you because typically we don't find that we're going to be under threat, at least in normal situations, from our family, especially our children. And these are two parents, one nearly 70 and the other in his 70s, that were attacked by their sons. One of which, especially that mom, I feel was definitely within her rights to be terrified. I mean, her son's on meth, is trying to break into her house, has been known to be aggravated or aggressive when on meth. It's just really unfortunate that, I mean, her being a woman, so smaller stature generally than the man, he's on meth, she's not. She had to take action with higher levels of force. The son, who was shot by his father, was trying to get him at him with a mirror. The humorous part being he gets shot in the leg, which is like that glorious, like everybody wants you to just shoot the suspect in the leg. And this time he was. Thankfully, he's going to survive. It's just not every time does that happen. I also thought it was interesting. He fired a warning shot, which is like, typically everybody's like, oh, you should always fire a warning shot. But if you fire that warning shot, then maybe you're seen as the aggressor too in court. But thankfully this one, he won't face charges. Let me know what you thought about these two cases. I thought they were interesting just due to the fact that they're that close relationship of familial bond of, you know, father, son, mother, son. But let me know what your thoughts are in this, or if you've seen any other situations similar. If you did find value in this, if you could hit that like button, it would really help me out. My name's Steven with Armed Culture. If you could subscribe if you want to hear more news related to the Second Amendment when it comes to self-defense and the violent world happening around us.